Huskies fans, welcome into another postseason episode of Husky Face-Off, powered by the St. Cloud State Alumni Association. We are on the doorstep of St. Cloud State's opening NCAA tournament matchup against the Terriers from Boston University. Hi everybody, I'm Sam Goetzinger. We have a lot of information to pass along your way before the puck hits the ice in Albany, New York, so let's hop right into it. It's a Saturday matinee inside of the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center, and the Huskies are rolling so far against Colorado College. Hi, welcome into the studio for your first intermission report, brought to you by Preferred One. I'm Sam Goetzinger. Huskies up by 2 after the first 20. Let's take a look at how it all happened. Hello and welcome back into Husky Game Prep, Episode 2, brought to you by Gate City Bank. Sam Goetzinger here with you, alongside of me, the voice of NCHC Hockey on CBS and one of the voices on Midcoast Sports Network. It's Ben Holden. Ben, thank you for taking some time today.
Anytime.
Hello and welcome Huskies fans into another special edition of Husky Face-Off, powered by the SCSU Alumni Association. I'm Sam Goetzinger, here to catch you up on everything you need to know about the upcoming Frozen Four matchup against Minnesota State Mankato. The Huskies are coming off a beatdown of the teams from Beantown over in the Northeast Regional.
Another led to another, and it really started.
And you know, Sam, when you want one, when you get one, you want your second, you want your third, and then other guys want to play with you and get theirs, and so it makes everybody happy. We were happy. Were you?
I was pretty happy.
Were you happy, Sam?
I was pretty happy. That was probably the most fun Husky game I've seen all year.
I was worried about you being happy, Sam.
I was happy. I am still
good.
happy. Hopefully they can keep this momentum rolling the rest of the season. Hey, they have an off week next week.
Yep.
And Jim, Pat, you guys have an off week too. What are your guys' plans?
Well, we're going to relax. The Super Bowl, right? I mean, there's lots. Sammy,
I think there's a week off between the Super Bowl.
Oh, is there another week off?
Maybe.
Oh, that's
There
right.
could be, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe.
I'm going to watch hockey next weekend,
Okay,
Sammy.
so when the Super Bowl comes around, what's your pick there, Pat?
Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win the whole thing, just to let you know, okay?
All right.
Sammy?
Okay.
Somebody back there disagrees with you.
Sammy, write it down.
All of us in the studio have a little bit of doubts on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because I know who you probably already picked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Am I right?
Yeah,
the Green Bay Packers?
When you're right, you're right, Pat. When you're right, you're right.
Sammy, listen to me, right?
Boy. When you're right.
Thanks,
When you're right.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
Have a great
Turn
weekend.
off our
Thanks,
cameras,
Sammy.
Guys,
Sam.
appreciate
Great
it.
job.
Have a good off week. We'll see you next time around at the
You're the
Herb Brooks
best,
National
Sammy.
Hockey Center. Have a good one. 8-2 win for St. Cloud State as we welcome you back into the studio for your post-game report. A lot of action, a lot of goals in those 3 periods. Let's take a look at how they all happen. We start over in the first period, and the Huskies, they've won the last 9 meetings against Miami. They're looking to move that number to number 10 after tonight's game. 5 minutes into the period, it was the grad transfer from Colgate. Gets his second goal as a Husky, first goal at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center. That put SCSU up by 1. A little bit later on in the period, on the power play, St. Cloud State, Nolan Walker gets his first of the night, and that's his 5th career goal on the power play as he patrols the offensive zone, and he beats Ludwig Pearson up top. And the 22nd ranked power play unit in the country gets their 11th power play goal on the season. Now the second period, this is where a lot of the goals started coming the way for both teams. Derek Daschke on the power play for Miami, midway through the period, beats David Rennick up top. 4th goal of the season, that cuts the deficit to 1 for St. Cloud State. 1 minute later, Miami ties this one. Jack Clement tallies his second of the season, catches Rennick way out of position. As you see Clement there over on the right side, beating Rennick and 2 others diving to try to stop that puck. That tied things up at 2 apiece. And then Nolan Walker wasn't happy with that, so 14 seconds later, he wanted to get the Huskies the lead back, and he did. That's his second of the night. And then 1 minute later, he wants another one. He wants the hat trick. And like Pat said, when you want 1, you want 2, you want 3. He gets his 3rd one there, 6th goal of the season. Huskies up 4-2. And the scoring wasn't done there. Sam Henches, 20 seconds later, notches his 6th goal for SCSU, 5th goal of the game. The Wild draft pick puts the Huskies up by 3 to end the second period. Moving over to the 3rd frame, a couple more goals for SCSU. What else did you expect in this one? Vietti Miettinen gathers his 9th of the season. This is his first series against Miami. He already has 3 career points against the Red Hawks. That's pretty nice. Brent Cross in net there, 6-2 Huskies. And then it was 7-2 after the 4th goal of the night from Nolan Walker. He said last Saturday was his best game in his college career. I think this one might take the cake with 4 goals in this game for Nolan Walker. And then to wrap up the scoring for St. Cloud State, Chase Brand, his 2nd goal of the season. I'd say it puts the dagger in this one, but the dagger was put in a good while ago in this matchup against Miami. 8-2, your final score. Chase Brand gets his 2nd goal of the season as we take a look at some of the stats from this final game of the series between the Huskies and the Red Hawks. Shots on goal, 32-33. That's a very surprising. Miami out shooting St. Cloud State. St. Cloud State had 40 shots on goal last night as well. Saves 31-24 in favor of David Rennick in between the pipes, and a lot of penalties, 20 combined for both sides. Very fun matchup. St. Cloud State takes a 6-goal win over the Red Hawks. We now welcome in former Husky defender and our analyst here to break down this game, Rachel Herzog. And Rachel, let's talk first of all about the play of Nolan Walker. He was very impressive tonight. And Rachel, one more for you. We talked about Jim and Pat. We heard their plans for this upcoming off week. Huskies have an off week before they go up against Western Michigan back at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center. What is this team going to do in that off week? So an off week coming up for St. Cloud State, Western Michigan coming up on February 5th and 6th. Both those games will be on Fox 9+. For Jim, Pat, and Nick over at the Herb, and for all of us here on Husky Productions, we thank you for joining us. The Huskies make Tom Nelson proud on Tom Nelson night here in St. Cloud. Have a good night, everybody. A rather slow start to this first period, eventually sped up, and the Huskies take a 2-1 lead into the first intermission. Welcome into the studio for your first intermission report, brought to you by Preferred One. I'm Sam Goetzinger. A lot of action eventually happened in that first period. Let's take a look at how it all went down. The Broncos coming into this game with a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth. SCSU riding high off of a 5-1 win against Western Michigan last night. Broncos looking to avoid the first sweep of the season. Head coach Andy Murray wants a better game out of them, and he wouldn't be happy with the amount of times Western Michigan went to the box in the first period, and eventually St. Cloud State would capitalize on the power play. Vietti Mietinen fires one towards the net. Easton Brodzinski is there, and he's able to get himself his 2nd goal of this series. That's the 14th power play goal of this season for St. Cloud State. They lead 1-0 after that. Less than 1 minute later, Ethan Frank and Michael Joyal capitalize on a St. Cloud State miscommunication. Joyal gets his 2nd goal of the season, and Western Michigan would tie this one up again less than 1 minute after Easton Brodzinski tallied the first goal of the game. 5 minutes left in the period. St. Cloud State would capitalize on a rather interesting goal, to say the least. Spencer Meyer nonchalantly throws one towards the net, and Jason Poland was standing right in the blue paint. This one hits off his skate and it goes in, and Spencer Meyer pretty much said it, any way you can get him, you'll get him. St. Cloud takes a 2-1 lead heading into the first intermission after that goal by the junior captain out of Sartell, Minnesota. Taking a look at the stats through your first 20, brought to you by Franklin. Shots on goal, 11-9 in favor of St. Cloud State. Saves are pretty even, 8 for David Rennick, 9 for Alex Aslanitis. A lot of penalties in that first period, 5 combined, 3 for St. Cloud State, 2 for Western Michigan, and St. Cloud State did capitalize on the power play. Big thanks to Easton Brodzinski. Face-offs in favor of St. Cloud State, 12-8 as well. Transitioning over to your NCHC standings, brought to you by Cetera Financial. St. Cloud State, if they win tonight, they could jump North Dakota and move into that top spot in the NCHC, moves them closer to the Penrose Cup as well. Minnesota Duluth in the 2nd spot with a 11-5-2 record. They're taking on Miami this weekend. They had a big 8-1 win yesterday. Omaha, Denver, not too far behind. Western Michigan down towards the little bottom part of the NCHC with a 5-11-3 record. Of course, they're looking to change that one with the rest of the game. 2 periods to go here from the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center. We'll take a break here on Fox 9+. When we come back, Rachel Herzog will break down everything from that first period coming up next. And we'll wrap things up today because we can't forget about the Super Bowl that took place last night, and what a fun Super Bowl that was. The new look Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Tom Brady, welcome in the Kansas City Chiefs for the 55th installment of the Super Bowl. This was not the game that star Patrick Mahomes was looking for. Let's say that, say the least. The Bucs came out to a hot start and didn't look back from there. A 14-point second quarter helped Tampa Tom and the rest of the Bucs to another championship win for Brady, make that his 7th now, and he can tack that onto his already stacked resume. Tampa brings home their 2nd Super Bowl title in franchise history after the 31-9 win, and a pair of Gophers got their first rings as well. That's Antonio Winfield Jr. and Tyler Johnson in the win in the Super Bowl for Tampa Bay. Now that we've entered the Frozen Four, let's take a look at who else will be joining us over in Pittsburgh. From the Midwest Regional, the back-to-back defending national champions make another trip to familiar territory after knocking off the #1 overall seed North Dakota in 5 overtimes. Over in Bridgeport, #2 UMass advances to the Frozen Four after taking down Lake Superior State and upset-minded Bemidji State after their big win against the #1 seed in that region, Wisconsin. So the Minutemen will meet the Bulldogs in the first semifinal matchup. Over in Loveland, Colorado, the Minnesota State Mankato Mavericks had to face adversity early in their tournament run with a come-from-behind overtime win against Quinnipiac. They would go on to beat down on the Golden Gophers rather handedly in the regional final, and that completes the Frozen Four bracket as they will take on St. Cloud State in Pittsburgh coming up a little bit later on. Now the Husky hockey program may not have a lot of experience in the Frozen Four, but luckily one man on their bench does. Here's Nick Speliopoulos with more. That brought the Huskies to 2019. They won the Penrose Cup once again. They made it to the finals after a sweep against Miami in the first round. They went to the semifinal round at the XL Energy Center. It was a 5-2 win against Colorado College. And then the final saw probably one of the most exciting games in Frozen Face-Off history as they took on Minnesota Duluth. They lost in double overtime 3-2, but the California connection in those two games at the X were phenomenal. Robbie Jackson, Patrick Newell, 2 goals apiece. And that leads us to last year, 2020, a year to forget for everyone as the postseason was canceled due to COVID-19. Now this year, the Huskies will travel to the Ralph Engelstad Arena in North Dakota with the rest of the NCHC for a postseason unlike anything we've ever seen before. The Huskies will try to go for their second Frozen Face-Off championship this season.
In a town where hockey runs deep, it was natural for St. Cloud native Will Hammer to find the ice.
Got into hockey. My older brother played hockey, so I kind of followed in his footsteps. It's a game I've always loved. I think I've loved it the most growing up.
Growing up in the backyard of the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center, Will had an early taste of what the culture was for St. Cloud State hockey.
I think I remember coming watching the games, watching Hanowski, watching some of the older guys, come through the program, and it was always fun watching them when I was back in high school and seeing some big games here at the Herb, and it kind of shaped me in who I am today, and those players have been instrumental in helping shape the person that I am today.
After graduating from St. Cloud Cathedral High School, Will kept his talents in the Granite City. But for Hammer, it took some time to make his mark.
But Will has just become an anchor for this team, whether it's the penalty kill, whether it's face-offs, the ability to play against a fourth line or play against a first line if we need him to. He's brought so much value to this team over the last couple of years.
And that value will be deeply missed as Will moves on from St. Cloud State.
And he's stripped of the puck, but it's stuck back into the border wall and wrapped around a tip. Rebound, Vernon fights it off and it's in! Huskies get the goal!
Back inside of the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center, Sam Goetzinger, Drew Steele here with you. Just about ready to start off this second period. Beavers with a 1-goal lead after the first 20. The Huskies, on the other hand, will start off this second period with 1 minute and 5 seconds on the power play. Drew, quickly before we get into the first puck drop of this second period, what are some of your keys to this second 20?
I think actually the shots on goal aren't as bad as they look. 10-3 shots on goal, but actual shot attempts actually favor the Huskies 15-11 at the break. So I think the main key to this second period is you got to find those shooting lanes. You got to find ways to get pucks to the net. You're taking the attempts, but the thing the attempts aren't turning into successes to get the puck on that 4x6, as Ricky and Jake were just talking about.
Teams will flip sides after the resurface. Starters for both teams out on the ice: Newland, Himlerova, Kluge, Westlow, Bates, and Paluzny, Hunt, DeGeorge, Beebe, Bullen, Lange, and Dowie out there as the puck is dropped, and the Huskies win this one back into their own end. They're traveling right to left in their white uniforms as Kluge wraps around Kampa, who's actually starting this second period for BSU. She has it on the right half wall. Savara walking the blue line, finds Scribner. Scribner one-timer off the blocker of Dowie, and the Huskies are off to a good start on this power play to start off the second period. 19:37 remaining and 39 seconds to go here on the power play. Savar on the line. This puck in front of the crease. Gentry tried to pick this one up in front of the crease, and she's unable to do so as the Beavers clear.
Yeah, they'll have to do something better than that on the power play Savara actually with a nice move to cut through the circle, but doesn't commit to it completely. She stops at the top of the circle, and then it's just congested in the middle. Too many bodies there. Bemidji able to clear.
Kluge working up neutral will send this one in deep right in front of her own bench. On the other side, that looks to be Kenzie Bourdre. First time we'll hear her name tonight as she sets up a one-timer for Ness on the left circle as this power play will wrap up for St. Cloud State. Coming out of the box is Abby Ecker. 18:45 remaining here in the second period. Beavers up by 1-0 is your score. Ecker out of the box will clear this one out of the St. Cloud zone. This puck wrapped all the way around deep on the end boards. Plusny tees it up for Scribner. Now back up top for Ness. Ness traveling around one Bemidji State defender. A scary pass for Hannah Bates in front of Plusny. That one was almost taken away, but Bates able to redirect that one away from a Beaver defender as BSU still able to keep this one over on the right side of the ice. Huskies traveling right to left in the white uniforms. Beavers in the green. First time these two teams will meet inside of the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center this year is a long shot from the point that's taken by Abby De La Rosa is gloved down by Emma Plusny and will have a freeze. BSU in this building 21-21-5 when playing at the Herb. That's not a bad record.
Also a fun fact, St. Cloud State in this building against Bemidji 21-21-5. A little bit of both sides.
How about
there.
that?
Some 500 record.
You could just flip that one right around. Hey, looking at the all-time record, SESU trails 48-40-9. As this draw to the right side of Plusny is won back by SESU. Circled around the net of Plusny, and now the Huskies will take it up neutral past the red line with just under 18 remaining here in the second period. In neutral ice, Bates finds Green. Green will walk past the blue line. Long shot. Dowie will easily get this one down. Thought about playing this one into the corner, but some good defense by Ness. Able to pressure his Ness out in front. She scores! First career goal for Nicole Ness off of the feed by Kenzie Bourdre behind the net.
Exactly what you want to see if you're St. Cloud State, especially here early in the period. It's that depth scoring, Sam. I said the first team to get that depth goal is going to be victorious here today. Nicole Ness, the first one of her career and the first one of the day here for St. Cloud State. Took her a while to get her feet underneath her. I'd say they've had her back at D some points this season already. She just tips that one into the back of the net. And all of a sudden we're back at 1-1, all square once again.
Nicole Ness, her first career goal in the Huskies uniform. That play was assisted by Kenzie Bourdre as the Huskies have another good opportunity to potentially take the lead with 17:25 remaining as a long shot by Westlow rose off the stick of Dowie straight up into the air. The Huskies will play this one over into the right corner. 1-1 is your score here in the second period at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center. DeGeorge wants to change that. Working up the right side. Dumps it off for Beebe. Beebe out in front. Plusny just barely got a pad on it. And this puck will go over to the right blue line. Lynn trips, and we will have a delayed penalty on Lynn as she tripped down what looked to be Abby De La Rosa. So the Beavers will go on the power play and have an opportunity here to take the lead after that goal by Nicole Ness.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look at the replay here. It doesn't look like we're going to get one here, but she just comes down the boards as De La Rosa. Lind actually just puts the body into her that time. Don't know what the call was for sure there, but of course body checking illegal. I could see that in the play. Also tripping as well, Sam. Yep. She did have her stick in there, but nonetheless, this could be a huge momentum boost to get that momentum back if you're Bemidji State. Overall, though, I think this Bemidji team has played well and bounced back on that first shift after that goal.
So that is Lind, who's charged with a 2-minute minor for tripping, as the Beavers have this one comfortably in their own offensive zone. Up top is Lange. Now Lange will play it over for Reese Hunt. 16:30 remaining here in the first period as DeGeorge will have this one on the goal line. She's trying to walk around Skrdlova on the right side. Turnaround shot by George. A rung off the post. That one, no goal is called. Taking the shot there was Gabby Smith, who's on the power play unit for Bemidji State. The Huskies have only allowed one goal on the PK all season long, third in the country, 26 for 27 as it's played back up top for Lange on the Quick Trip logo just in front of the blue line. Now back down low for Grayson Myers. And we do have 1 minute remaining on the PK for SESU. They try to clear. It's kept in at the blue line by Lange. Now down low for Hunt in the left corner. Hunt working around the net of Polusny, has to trade places with DeGeorge. This one caught up in DeGeorge's feet. Over in the right circle. Now back up top. The Beavers looking to change a couple. Campa comes out on the ice. Now Hunt down low for DeGeorge. DeGeorge back over to Campa on the far side. Campa back up top. This is Mosier. Mosier's shot goes just wide of Polusny, and Kluge will have to try to clear this one out into the corner, and she does. 15:25 remaining, and only 25 seconds remaining on the PK for SCSU. Here's a shot right off the pad of Polusny. It's out in front. DeGeorge picks this one up. No, excuse me, that's Mosier. Now Mosier circling around behind the net of Polusny. This is a good power play so far for BSU. A couple of chances, but Polusny standing tall. Here's another shot coming by BSU. This one goes off of the legs of Himlarova. She goes down. First time the Huskies will clear this one out into the neutral zone, this whole power play. As the power play is expired for BSU, coming out is Lynn, and she'll help Kluge, who's 2 on 5 right now in the SCSU offensive end.